Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Centimetre Perfect AFL podcast. I have not spoken to any of you since last year. Had to get that one out of the way early. We're back for 2026. We're not quite at the official starting point of season 3 of this podcast, which we'll loosely declare as opening round preview. But Liam,
yes,
we're in the end of season 2 of the show. We're getting into some of our fun novelty as we await State of Origin, as we await the one preseason game each side gets that nobody really cares about. So, I thought in the spirit of, procrastination and, avoiding starting the season, even though we start the season in March now, which I don't like.
I know you don't.
Early March, at least.
Yes.
I thought we'd jump on...
I'm sure we'll hear all about that in a couple of weeks, Jesse. You're going to rage on that for hours, I can tell. Well, the season's too long.
Got to fill the time.
Finishing it up now. Go. Do it through.
So we're going to procrastinate today. We're going to go on social media, and we're going to do a real YouTuber's trope today, Liam. We've done tier lists. We've done a ranking or two. We did silly games for a Christmas edition that no one watched. That's
fine. That's fine.
So today we're reading Reddit stories of r/AFL.
Yes. Well, I mean, look, Jesse, to be fair, like to us, we took a little bit of time off over Christmas and New Year, which I think is understandable. A lot of the podcasts do. But even looking at just general news happening across the AFL cycle, it's pretty sparse. Nothing much is going on. So, like outside Lachie Neale, who cares? Bobby Hill's taking some time off. That's his problem. There's really nothing happening. Even the AFL website, I'm looking at it now, just has fantasy previews and is still giving us who's gone where. We've done all this already. It's already happened.
Been there, done that.
Been there, done that. Bought the T-shirt, but. Look, why not have a few? I'm intrigued. I have no idea what's coming up today, Jesse.
And honestly, I don't really either, because I grabbed the headlines.
Yep.
I didn't want to read too many of the comments that we're going to talk about today. So for those of you who don't know what we're doing,
yes,
in case you're kind of new to this side of things, so we're going on to the AFL subreddit, which is like the meeting place for AFL fans on the website. It's got a fair few subscribers or contributors. It's got 136,000 weekly visitors. That's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people.
Going every single week. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go through a few different threads from over the years and just read some of the funny stuff. Now, whenever we talk about funny things, we need to get the lawyers involved. So legal disclaimers.
Yes.
We are not saying any of this is true. I am deliberately going out of the way of anything that is egregiously, could get us in trouble, basically, as a reasonable person would assume. So we are basing this as entertainment. None of this is fact, unless I say it is, and I don't think I'm silly enough to do that unless it was like my comment. No lawsuits allowed. Please and thank you. Liam, where can people find us if they do not want to sue us, but they want to stick around for more?
They can find us at @CMPerfect_AFL on YouTube, our main podcast, which is on Apple, Amazon, and Spotify. And look, Insta as well. I'll try and get back onto Insta. Maybe Jesse will help out. I don't know. Maybe I'm going to try, but if he's not going to, probably just get us on the main ones. Get us on YouTube. Get us on where you can actually hear us talking about stuff. Because Lord knows I don't have time to do Insta as well. I'm an old man now, Jesse. I found out the other day I found out I need glasses. So it's officially happening. I'm officially entering my twilight.
What are you, an AFL umpire? Let's get to the first one. So this thread is 3 years old. You can tell this is not a serious podcast today. But as I said last time, I've been told we're a ha-ha podcast. So
that's true.
Lean into it. Today we're reading a thread from 3 years ago. Now, obviously, no usernames mentioned just because it's easier. And nice.
I want to know if it's mine. That'd be funny.
Okay, well then, when you do the editing for this, you can figure it out.
I very rarely post on any of these things, so unlikely.
So we're going to start with one from 7 months ago. Thread is titled, "Out of all the players you've met, who are the nicest you've met and who are the rudest?" Okay. So this should be a bit of fun.
I was going to say, what was your criteria of choosing these ones today? Just like
I searched a bunch of keywords in the subreddit I thought would hit, like weird, funny, bad. Like I just thought, let's just see what we can get out of these.
Okay. Sure.
And just kind of go from there.
Okay.
So let's begin.
Okay.
Nick Larkey. So this is just because that got a bit weird. Out of all the players you met, who are the nicest you've met and who are the rudest?
Sure.
Nick Larkey took the time to walk with my 4-year-old daughter when he saw she had a temporary tattoo of him on her hand. He even signed her jumper and drew a little kangaroo on her footy. Seemed to be a really nice guy. When I was a kid, I asked Daniel Wells for a signature on a footy card, and he looked pretty mad at me. Didn't sign my card or say anything. We've just been absolutely pumped by Hawthorn, though, so I'm not sure he would have been very happy regardless. That's a very cross reaction.
Yeah, but you know what, though? I think that's part and parcel of the times. I reckon back in the 90s, the players wouldn't have given two shits about like kids coming up to ask them for it. But nowadays, I think with the rise of social media and whatnot, the players are going to be a bit more on better behaviour. They want to be seen to be going out and giving these kids a nice little signature, a nice little high five, giving them the shoes.
Your shoes, you lose.
Very good, Jesse. Very good. The problem is with that nowadays, kids, like they see one person get some shoes, and then the next time out, signs in the crowd, give us your shoes. Give us your shoes. There's only so many shoes to go around, kids. Relax.
Yeah, I think people forget that there's only two at a time.
Yes.
Like unless we've evolved the human genome further, and no one's bothered to consult me.
No one's told you, Jesse. No one's told you. I would love to see them, instead of just going up to a kid in the front row, just giving it to them, just launch them into the crowd, cleats first.
Missile them.
Like Mitch Marsh hitting a 6 into the stands. Go for it. Try and catch that.
He doesn't do that very much.
No, well, he tries, bless his heart.
Years ago, when I worked at a cafe that Jarman Impey and a few Port players frequented on the weekend. Over the course of probably anywhere from 12 to 24 months, I would make him a coffee almost weekly. Not long after that, he moved to the Hawks and inevitably moved to Melbourne. Comes with the territory.
Sure.
When I was in Melbourne, walking through the Crown Casino, I noticed him in the distance with 5 or 6 Hawks players. When he saw me, he left them, came over and had a chat. Fair to say my mates, and probably his mates, were very confused. Legend of a bloke. No need to do that, but just prove what a champion he is.
Oh, very good. Good on you, Jarman. Good on you, Jarman. Jesse, I'm going to interrupt you for a second. Okay. I want your live Reddit story. Have you ever met an AFL player? Well, obviously, you've met plenty. What am I talking about?
I've met plenty.
You met plenty. Who's the best? On the spot.
Reece Palmer or Chris Mann. In terms of nicest, Reece Palmer or Chris Mann. Manny, phenomenal. Reece, I had a very good relationship with over many, many years. But yeah, Manny was very enthusiastic as well. So I don't really have a rudest. See, I'm probably quite lucky in the position that I was in.
Yeah.
So they kind of had to be nice to me. But that makes it sound like I was sick. I wasn't sick. I was just there. I don't. Former Essendon player Corey Delolia gave me the finger once.
Corey
justified. Yeah.
Corey Delolia?
Yeah, he was one of the Essendon 34.
Okay.
Yeah. When he was playing for South, he didn't like some of my feedback, and that's fair enough too. So I guess by default,
if this was you at a South game, I'm surprised you haven't been decked. To be honest with you, you get quite lippy at those games. I'm fairly certain.
Well, that's okay. All part of the fun. I will give Leroy Jetta some credit for this though. He seemed to really enjoy the feedback over the defence when he was playing for East Perth. So you win some, you lose some. But yeah, there you go. That'd be mine. But look, I've not really had any bad experiences.
No,
I would say I wouldn't have thought.
Closest I've got is when I was working my Flight Centre days. Wayne Carey walked into our shop in the middle of the Hay Street Mall. I'm not too sure why he was there, but there was one of the guys that used to work with us had like a sixth sense for AFL players. He was upstairs, would have had zero clue that Wayne Carey was in the building, and he bounded down the stairs like no one's business just to say hello to Wayne Carey. It's almost like his spider senses were tingling. He's like, Wayne Carey's currently in the building. I'm going downstairs right now. Bolted down and
get out of my way.
Yeah, my way. Yeah, he was very, very starstruck. I just gave him a brochure and said, "Have a good day, Duck."
That was very nice.
He was nice enough.
When my wife first got to Australia, she spoke no English and got a job cleaning people's houses. Tom Bellchambers was one of her clients, and she said that despite the fact her English was woeful, Tom was always respectful, spoke slowly and clearly, and made a genuine attempt to connect. Good guy, Bellchambers.
I heard you saying then, like, Tom Bellchambers was like, your English is shit. That's
the complete opposite of what the story was. There's a reply to this comment. I was at the pub trivia once, and he was sitting at the bar next to us having a drink but not partaking. He leant over and gave us an answer we didn't know. Legend. I had the opportunity to meet the whole Giants team after our round 23, when I'm assuming this is in either 2024 or 2023 based on the year. They were all really nice, but I spent the most time talking to Adam Kennedy and Nick Haynes, the latter of whom really liked my Giants Letterman jacket. He probably doesn't anymore. Rudest was John Patton by a long shot, still thinks he's top shit, which is a shame because he was one of my faves at one stage, and I remember speaking to him around then and he was all right. Fitting that he's a real estate agent now. Well, I'll leave that to the opinion of the commenter. I've also had professional dealings with Tyson Stenglein, very good underrated player, Lee Colbert, also in there, and Glenn Archer, also in there. The first two were great and super professional, but Archer was really grumpy.
Well, yeah, of course, it's Glenn Archer.
Yeah, I think some things are just kind of like allegedly, probably.
What were you expecting?
Also saw Goddard skulking around Crown wearing a scour, but didn't engage as I had a pack of pretzels on me at the time. I think that might be a joke.
But to be honest with you, if I'm an AFL player at Crown, I am head down, getting myself to the blackjack table, making no eye contact with anybody, because you just know there's going to be some drongo in there.
Peanut,
yeah, 100%. Who's going to just be like, "Oh, it's Brendan Goddard. Let's go." Hey, and then you'll be like, "Oh, okay, there we go."
You cost me my multi. Yeah. Now I've got to be here.
Just yelling from the tab, just from the sports bet at the casino. Brendan, you fucker,
come here.
Come here.
Sav Rocker, and it's not even close. An absolute gentleman in every sense of the word. Always used to see him around the northern suburbs, whether at local footy or shopping centre, and he was one of the nicest people I've ever met. Sticks out 20 plus years later. I can imagine he would stick out quite distinctly in a crowd.
Yes, I would imagine so. He was a big boy. He was the one that took off to the NFL, wasn't he? Old Sav.
Yeah, Sav went.
Get him a chance as a punter.
And he did pretty well. Trailblazer. Ben Graham at the same time.
Yeah, Ben Graham as well. There's a lot of Aussie kids going over there at the moment, actually, as punters. We just know how to do it. We know how to kick a ball over here.
We do. Oscar Baker is a ripping bloke. That's one for Oscar Baker.
There you go. One for Oscar Baker. Sorry, I wasn't sure I was meant to be tallying these, Jesse. 1 second. One for Oscar Baker.
No, it's okay.
Palmer's got one. That's fine.
This is
Chris Main.
and we might skip. Well, we might skip on after this one.
Okay.
Nicest. Dermy. My brother was playing in an all-abilities curtain raised at Optus Stadium, and Dermy stopped and spoke to me and my dad, asked about the game and who my brother was, then hung around for a photo with both me and my brother after. That's really nice. Rudest, Chris Main, served him when I worked at a Subway, asked how his day was going, and he ignored me and barely looked up from his phone, didn't even say thanks after.
But that's just people nowadays, though.
Yeah.
That's just kind of what people are. And also, it goes to show, though, you can get people on a really good day, really bad day. I'm sure there are people who do not say that Dermy's the nicest person on the planet. I'm just guessing. It's a hunch.
Well, the bloke whose head he stepped on in like 94 probably doesn't have him at the top of the Christmas card list.
I wouldn't have
in a preseason game too.
Oh, in the game back then, it didn't matter. It was all everything was just fine.
I suppose fine. That.
That's true.
Okay, we're on to a new one, Len.
A new story.
Yep, from 3 months ago. So we're right hot in the presses here. Who is a random 2-club player you think most people have forgotten about? This is kind of fun because this will test our knowledge.
And you'd love a little. You're a Gridley fan, as we found out in that really well watched Christmas episode.
Hey, it did better than most of us off at the start of 2025.
That is very true. That is very true. But you're a bit of a fan. You're a bit of a fan of this random knowledge. So 2 club players that we've forgotten about.
Yeah. So I guess this is 2 categories. It's players that you forgot about totally because they were just a player, or very good players who you forgot played at the second club. That's kind of your 2 categories you're looking at here. Mm-hmm. Cam Mooney won a flag at North before playing for us. I'm assuming us is Geelong.
I would assume so. That's a very good assumption, Jesse. Well done.
Can you imagine if it's like Cam Mooney won 3 flags or 2 flags at Geelong after playing for us? I didn't remember that. Just North fan, just single issue focused on what their team's doing. Luke Loudon played 1 game for Hawthorn between 2009 and 2014 and 0 games for Adelaide between 2015 and 2016. Well, that doesn't count.
That doesn't count at all.
I don't think
you can't just say people who were like drafted by 2 different teams and then never played or played 1 game. Come on now. We're talking like Colin Sylvia here.
Ben McKinley, 90 goals in less than 50 games, got overshadowed by JK, I think that's Josh Kennedy, went to North, played 2 games and was never seen again. Well, if that's the case, someone should probably look for him.
Yes, please.
Because that's been a while. It's been like a solid 15 years.
Are you okay,
now.
Mr. McKinley? Please send us a...
Subscribe so we know you're okay.
Actually,
this is one for you, actually, Len.
Okay.
Des Headland seems to be strangely forgotten for a number 1 draft pick. Do you know who Des Headland played for before he joined Fremantle?
Brisbane.
Yes. Well done.
Yay. I did a thing, Jesse.
Well done. I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
Mr. Steak Knives, Jack Crisp. Paul Chapman, James Kelly, and to a much lesser extent, Matthew Stokes are Geelong legends who also unfortunately finished their careers at Essendon.
There seemed to be a few of those. Who was that fella? He went from the Bulldogs to Essendon for a little bit. What was his name? I've done it again, Jesse. I've done this thing where I jump into something and then just can't remember who he. Don't worry about it.
Jong?
No, not Lin Jong. Was he? Did he go to Essendon for a bit?
I don't think he went there.
No.
Because they had a few rounds. The Goddard obviously came from St Kilda.
Goddard, who was sorry, I was thinking of Goddard. No, you're right.
Okay.
It was St Kilda. Yeah.
Brad with 2 Ds, Dalziel. East Fremantle boy as well. Very good.
Brad with 2 Ds. That was very important to add that little caveat in, Jesse.
Distinctive. Not a random player, but one of the better players to play the game. Scott Thompson, 39 games for Melbourne before joining Adelaide and playing 269 games for them. You can be a 300-game player while being okay.
That is true. That is true. I mean, sometimes when you're a 300-game player, you're probably just kind of mediocre, just in the background, so you can play all the games. Don't get too many hits. Body's feeling fine. You're good to go.
No, that's not fair. Scott Thompson was pretty underrated in a very good Adelaide midfield, but it is also like, I mean...
Do you know why this is quite a funny one to bring up as well, Jesse? Because one of the stories on the AFL website right now is who are joining the 3-club crew this year. So that's what the AFL is at the moment. They're doing stories on who's joined the 3rd club.
Who outstayed their welcome at 2 other places.
Correct. Will Brodie, welcome to the club.
Yes, there you go. Ron Hooper started his career with Lions and then finished at Hawthorn. Yep, mid-2000s, very niche. Most people forget that Tom Harley's a 2-club player. He played 1 game for Port. There you go. Dan Gorringe. And someone just replies, is he the TikTok guy? Unfortunately, yes.
Yes, he is. So I don't think you can count like 1 game at a different club. Like
no, you can. That's kind of you can.
Oh, no, you can.
0 games I won't count, but
sure.
If you've played a game at more than 1 club, you're a 2-club player.
Well, I'm sure there's plenty.
There's a fair few through here. Ted Richards, not many games at Essendon, but a backbone for Sydney's 2012 premiership success. Yeah. Jason Graham played a few games for Brisbane before coming to St Kilda. Lost the 09 Norm Smith on countback. I sponsored him for a few years. Nice kid.
I haven't heard any Graham Pollack in here yet.
No, but yeah, you're right on that. Heath Black, who did, of course, St Kilda, Fremantle, St Kilda.
Yeah, well, yeah,
the boomerang.
The boomerang.
Ty Vickery. Gee, Heath Black's a forgotten player, isn't he?
Yes, he is. He was pretty good from what I remember as well.
He was solid. Mark Johnson finished his career at Fremantle. Yes, he did. Coming over from Essendon in about 2008, I reckon that was. Cale Morton, and we'll finish with a funny one. Trent Crode. There you go.
Trent Crode.
It's a funny way to finish.
Why is Trent Crode a funny way to finish?
Because we traded away the draft rights for like Luke Hodge.
Oh.
As part of the Crode deal.
Okay.
So, that was a ha-ha, but not in the fun way. All right, next one from 10 months ago. Worst experience at an AFL game as an away fan. Then they kind of put in the body of the text. Could be as a home fan too. So this is worst experience as a fan.
As a fan, yeah.
Essendon fan comments, of course, is the top one. Giant Stadium, 2023, 126 points. First time I've ever left a game early. Only fun part was the section I was sitting at cheering on the Oz Kickers. I will say this, you don't leave the game early. I don't care how bad your team is, you don't leave the game early. Unless there's obviously like a medical or existential crisis. I
don't think you need to clarify that, Jesse.
No, well, I'm thinking because you've ducked off a couple of times.
My wife is giving birth. You bloody sit down in your chair. This game is not finished yet.
But
don't you go anywhere.
I mean?
Of course. I mean, look, we've been through it. I mean, every team's been through it. And I do find that the games I've been to, especially in Melbourne, people will be gone like 3/4 time. They don't really. I mean, then again, they have like a oversaturation of football over there, so they might be trying to get to the G for the next game.
If they're neutral fans, that's fine.
Sure,
neutral fans, that's fine. But if your team is playing, they're getting belted.
Mm-hmm.
You stay.
I remember one time I went to Sydney. I went to watch the Dockers play Sydney at the SCG. We were down by, I think it was like 114 points. Like it was a belting, and I was sitting there. I'm pretty sure I went with my dad was there at the time, and we were sitting there, and we were just having the best time. Every time we did anything, like kicked in from a behind and didn't turn it over, we were like celebrating it and cheering it. If we kicked a goal, we were like, oh, wow, was that the best thing ever? Like, you can turn those games into fun experiences. You know what I mean?
I've sat through 150 point WA Day Derby losses to South Fremantle. If I can do that, you can stay for 126 point loss to the Giants.
Yep, 100%.
It's okay.
100%.
This is a Brisbane fan based on their avatar. I was once at the G with a sports ball guy in front of me. He had been taken there by his friends and made sarcastic comments the whole game. Like when the crowd cheered, he said, "Go team, go sport," and generally acted too cool for the room. Really? He was seated on the edge of level 3. By the end of the game, I wanted to throw him off, screaming to his death like Longshanks did to his son's boyfriend in Braveheart. In retrospect, I should have. What a dork. That's quality. This is what you were hoping for.
Yeah, this is more the Reddit stuff that I like, because you're just getting people just unhinged. Keyboard warriors behind anonymity, just going, you know what? I'm going bananas. I'm going bananas.
I sat behind a D-head at the SCG that would not stop shouting obscenities at players and umpires and the crowd all game in a stand that was otherwise very tame. One of the people near me snapped in the last quarter, just went from nothing to screaming at him. A few others joined in too. Not exactly sure why that came to mind, other than general reflection that it's polite to think about the impact your actions have on those around you, and by extension, read the room a bit.
Oh well, that's not in the wheelhouse of a lot of AFL. I would say a lot of AFL fans, but people who go to the games. Reading the room is not part of their priorities, Jesse, whatsoever. Can I share one of my stories in this? I went to the G a couple of years ago, again with Dad. We do the footy weekends over to Melbourne, and he was lucky enough to get us into the MCC section. It was the game where Braden Walker did his knee in against Collingwood.
Oh yes, yep.
Yes, that's the one. We lost by 60 points, quite handily. Got defeated.
That was either on the flag, was that? I reckon it was 23.
I think it was. Yes, correct. And I remember walking around the downstairs area in the MCC section and just being like gawked at, because I had my Freo scarf on, and it was, I kind of felt like there was going to be a bit of not animosity, but people going, "Oh, you're not meant to be here, mate. You're not meant to be here."
Bit of Millwall away.
Yeah, exactly right, 100%. But it wasn't until I sat in the seat with Dad that there was a couple of, like a Collingwood family in front of us, they were supporters. They were kind of like, "What are you doing here?" We're like, "We're just enjoying the footy, having a great time." The guys next to us, also Collingwood supporters, started bad-mouthing the people in front of us for talking to us as Freo supporters, and then they got into it. It was all very hilarious, because Dad and I were just sitting there, no dinner popcorn, but it was just like, okay, here we go, sipping on a beer, going, let's watch this all go off.
Just because of your existence, you've now caused a squabble.
Yeah, just being there.
In the Magpie Nest.
Just being there. It was great.
Just being there. Someone commented 2 goals 19. That's a Fremantle fan. I don't want to speak to them ever again or remember that game or think about Geelong. I'm not a Crows fan, but I went to this game supporting them. You went to that game, didn't you? The 2 goals 19?
Yeah, the really wet one. It was like horrendous weather. Yeah. I can deal with the 2 goals 19 in horrendous weather. I can't deal with the 1 goal 7 in decent weather in Adelaide. That's
Fremantle.
That's Fremantle.
I'm not a Crows fan, but I went to this game supporting them. I was at Hawks vs Crows at the MCG last year. So this would be 2024, I would say. We were 2 rows behind a group of teenagers around 14 to 15 years old. I thought they were part of a private school group or something. They filled the whole row. There was this middle-aged man ushering them, and some of them clearly couldn't care less about being there. Anyway, there was this Crows supporter a few rows back who was very vocally supportive. Her support was kind of heartwarming. The Crows were pretty ordinary that day, but she was pumping them up with stuff like, "Keep your head up." In the group of kids, there were 2 or 3 little buggers supporting Hawthorn. Obviously, Hawthorn were much better that day, so there was plenty to cheer about. But as the game went on, it became less and less about supporting the Hawks and more about giving it to the Crows lady. Hawthorn would kick a goal unless she turned away from the ground to scream in her direction. She wasn't bad-mouthing Hawthorn, nor did she acknowledge the Rats giving her all that shit. Thinking about it now, it still makes me mad. I hope she didn't let it get to her.
I mean, that is the thing, though, right? Because part of the footy experience sometimes you just got to take the banter on the chin. Sometimes this lady sounds like she was doing that just fine. Didn't let it. When it turns into actual physical stuff, that's when it's bad.
Well, I've got a physical one for you now.
Oh, go on.
Early 20s. This is a West Coast supporter. Early 20s. Let out of the eating disorder ward on the day of release to go to the Derby at Subi with my Freo mate. Her dad gave me his ticket. West Coast was winning. I'm standing and cheering a goal, and some D-head wings me in the back with a full beer and a torrent of abuse. That's not very nice. Why are you laughing?
Because I was about to share a story where the exact same thing happened to me, but the reverse.
Okay, that's fine. As long as you've had the exact same thing happen to you, that's fine.
Yeah, not leaving the not leaving the facility, but the rest of it is the beer in the back of the head.
Full credit to the rest of the Freo members around us. They all turned on him. He scampered off, never to be seen again. The lovely lady behind us calmed me down while I had a bit of a weep, and her lovely husband got us a bucket of hot chips to share. That's a nice ending.
Nothing.
And also,
your
shame
rails.
on you, beer thrower. And also,
100%.
money bags over here.
Yeah,
And I know it was the Subi days, but still.
No, legit. No, that's the thing though, right? It's like you go to the games, you can deal with a little bit of a to and fro-in for sure, but yeah, you don't start getting physical. You don't start throwing your beers around. And I think the one that I went to was just like it was Subi days as well. You know, the derbies, they kind of had to put behind the goals those extra few seats just behind the goals. We got some of those seats there, and so we were like the Eagles fans were like right behind us, and like just bang over the back of the head. I was like, what the? It's not my fault your team are shit today.
We should have gotten you to just relive your footy war stories on this. Do you want part 2? Hit like if you want to hear more of Liam's sob stories on the podcast.
Yeah.
Adelaide, Brisbane. This is actually quite a good thread. This one might get a bit more airtime because there's actually a few good ones in here. Even though I've still got 5 to go. Adelaide, Brisbane, Adelaide over last year. The woman I was sitting next to was so irate that I dared attend the game as an opposition supporter. We ended up moving seats after half time. Sounds like your story at the MCG. Also, the crowd in the last quarter was terrifying. I'm assuming this is a Brisbane supporter. Yes, it is, because also Freo versus Freo at Subi during our terrible days. I was sat in the rain and we kicked like 3 goals for the match. 10 out of 10 do not recommend. This was in, I reckon, 2009. I remember this game because I was there. I reckon it was Josh Drummond. We kicked the ball out in the full. Drummond goes to take the kick. He then kicks it out in the full. That's just the only thing I remember from that game, apart from the awful weather and the fact that both teams were bad, because Brisbane were bad at that point, and so were we. That was like the year before Mark Harvey figured out, hey, you can actually keep possession of the ball and pass the teammates and not just blaze away 60 metres up the line and hope for the best. Fun. Cans full of human wee-wee being thrown at kids and families by charming Collingwood supporters. Victoria Park, early 90s.
Yeah, well...
Please don't do that.
Don't do that, yeah.
Because that's the early 90s. You were alive for that. What do you mean the early 90s? Funnily enough, it was a game where I didn't support any team. Bombers and Crows at Marvel a few years back. Crows got crushed by 10 goals for sitting with the Crows cheer squad as someone I knew was part of it. As the final siren sounded, a rather large group of Bombers fans, most likely teenagers, made a beeline down the stairs and started hurling abuse at the whole cheer squad in the vicinity and quite a large amount of kids. Stuff that I would rather not repeat here. Probably the only time in my life where I actually wanted to stoop to their level and throw hands. Thankfully didn't. Horrible experience.
Never
we just got a lot of dislikes randomly on the video then. Because we mentioned the E word and the B word. And it wasn't. Yeah. Can't do that.
Don't do that.
Can't do that here. Giant Stadium, seated behind a GWS members' VIP area, and some guy kept trying to antagonise the Carlton fans behind him. Unfortunately for us, we lost like a 40-point lead, lol, at the end of the game. Okay. He turned around and called us all buggers, even though we hadn't said a word. Dude was obnoxious and unbearable.
I'm actually surprised there's enough people at the Giant Stadium to actually get entries into the
VIP
story.
area. I thought just coming into the ground would probably suffice. Sorry, Giants fans.
Yeah, well, what do you mean? What do you mean, sorry, Giants fans? They don't go to the games. That's on them.
Last one before we move on.
Okay.
Victoria Park. Doesn't matter if you were a child. You could have been there with Make-A-Wish. If you're an opposition supporter, they had a real go. Spit was bad. Piss was worse. That's a nice way to end this one.
A lot of piss going around the local grounds in Melbourne, apparently.
I think just Victoria Park. It's only been Victoria Park that's mentioned it. This one's from 2 years ago.
Okay.
What fans do you hate sitting near? And there's a bit of a sub thing here. Obviously, no naming names, but what kind of fans do you dislike sitting near? Personally, I don't like fans who are never satisfied, classically crying, just kick it. And when it's kicked, usually followed up by, don't kick it there. We all do this. So, once or twice in a game is fine, especially if you're watching Long Muir ball. That's totally acceptable.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
The annoying ones that never shut up during the whole match, or took absolute bollocks, or repeat the same joke over and over that wasn't funny the first time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They're
they
the
must
ones
have sat near me.
Yeah, I was going to say, no. So you
weren't.
You save it.
Stop it.
You save it, then just have a massive explosion.
Yeah. Bloody Banfield.
I do know what they mean though by the ones who just keep repeating the same thing over and over again. It's just like they've read. It's almost like they're new to the game. They've gone. They've read the little book of AFL quips and phrases. Yeah.
Freddie.
He's been doing it all day.
That's funny the first time. If it happens in the first 3 minutes of the game, it's funny. It's not funny after that. Or if it's something so obviously wrong as a free kick, that's fine. I'll pay that.
Yeah, but like you said, one time. Yeah.
Like when it's deliberate out of bounds when the ball's like done a dog leg off the ground and dribbled out, that's funny. That's fine. I'll let that go. But just like, waiting for your moment in the sun, and it's just like a random marking infringement free kick. Like, grow up. Sat next to some Pies supporters on Friday that just whinge constantly about every little thing we did wrong. This is a Collingwood fan. Surely it's exhausting being that negative for the entire match and not enjoying any of it. I seem to do okay. The one like the anchor wearing a port jumper criticising our team when we're winning by a mile recently. Every team has them. Bugger those guys. People sitting nearby with hot chips with vinegar. Those jokes with their delicious smelling chippies force me to then go buy some myself.
Yeah, real, 100%.
The just kick it long type of fan. Bonus points if they clearly haven't kept up to date with the rule change in the last 15 years. Yeah. Not at a game, but sorry, you have something to say?
No, you do this one. I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay. Not at a game, but I used to know someone when the Bombers beat somebody else's team, this must be old, that they worked with, he'd rub it in, but the second his team lost and you did it back, he couldn't take it. I hate people like that.
Oh yeah. The ones who can't, the ones who give and can't take. I was going to say, do you have anything for this particular entry, like the kind of fans that you just cannot stand?
I think the ones that are complaining about something where it's actually like explicitly in the rules that they are either allowed to do that or not allowed to do that, depending on which way the coin falls. Like people that don't understand what holding the ball actually means. And I know it changes a fair bit, so I'm willing to cut a bit of slack there.
Sure.
But like when... there's one really good example I have. Like deliberate rush behind. That's a great one because they seem to, like, people just lose their mind as soon as the ball goes. They're like, own goal. Give them 10 free kicks in front of goal. But like not how it works. Like people just don't understand the rules.
Yeah.
But it's also the ones that are there every fortnight. Like if it's just someone I've never seen before, I'm like, whatever. But like when it's the same people week in, week out, it's like, do you watch the game like this? You don't because you're reacting to something. But you're not comprehending it?
We've moved seats because of like those kind of people back in the Subi days. Like there were people who just literally non-stop, and it got to the point where, and it's those ladies, bless them, who have those really high, shrill voices, and they don't stop the entire game, and they're always saying the wrong things. I have moved seats before, not like last time when we moved seats. That was for a different reason. Those fans can go to get in the bin as well. You know what I'm talking about, don't you, Jesse?
I do.
I'll say this because it's a good shout out. Don't be racist, everybody. That should be go without saying. Just don't be racist.
That was an easy win for the podcast.
Yeah.
Go with the don't be racist line. What on then? Angry, screaming, swearing men. Fair.
What? That's footy. What are you talking about? Angry, screaming, sweary men?
Yeah. This is interesting because I actually don't agree with this.
Okay.
So we'll see where we go. People who boo non-stop at players who have changed clubs regardless of the reason. I know it happens for every club, but some Lions fans I was sitting on Friday would not stop booing McStay for the entire game, even though by all accounts he left on good terms. I mean, regardless of the reason probably saves it.
Yeah.
But for things like you left my team, you're entitled to boo, in my personal opinion.
Okay. I mean, a boo is harmless. A boo is harmless.
Well, as long as it's not like a racist boo.
Correct. Going back to my previous statement.
Which is why I caveated about booing is acceptable as long as it's not targeting like a person's...
I was talking purely from the perspective of the moving to a different team. Because like at the end of the day, it's just like, like
I don't boo every Fremantle player that has left. I'll boo Adam Chera. Don't boo all of them though.
No, I'm fairly certain that you've been like, oh, don't boo Schultzy. Don't boo him.
I like him.
Exactly.
Like him. He has good marks and he slides a lot.
He does.
Very good.
No care for his own body at all.
No. Let's move on. I'm conscious that we've got 4 still to go. This is one I think you'll enjoy, Len.
Okay.
It's a bit different.
Okay.
What is the craziest story that you have from playing local footy?
Ooh, okay, cool.
And someone's provided, the poster has provided a story to go with it. This is 3 months old. I saw someone put up a post about playing local footy with eventual AFL players before, and it made me think of my own question. Does anyone have any crazy stories that occurred either in your games or at your club that you're willing to share? I think we might get in trouble in this post. I personally only played local footy for a couple of years in high school, and I was a terrible player from a terrible team, and was a terrible player from a terrible team. So my stories are mostly just my team showed up to the game and got smashed by 50 to 100 points most weeks, and a couple of times we didn't score. There was one funny moment, however, when someone's dad was the goal umpire and we were fairly certain he was drunk or had been on the alcohol the night before. That was a hilarious sight. There was also one time someone I played with got very angry one day. I can't remember why. It was likely because their team sucked and we just couldn't catch a break. But he got so red up that he ran behind someone and spear tackled them. He was essentially sent off for the remainder of the game, and I remember he didn't join our team afterwards for the post-game huddle. That's a good start. But I mean, that's just dangerous. You shouldn't be doing that, no matter how fired up you are. It's like, I find when you watch the local footy stuff, there are some really loose units out there, which is, I'm guessing, the country as well. God, there'd be some. I'm hoping there's some good country ones in here. My mate got a 3-week suspension because he was on the mark and mooned a guy kicking for goal.
3 weeks for that?
If he missed it, worth it. Well, it is. You are exposing. Well, yeah. When I was in grade 5, I goal umpired a game for the younger kids and got diarrhea and shat myself.
Oh,
that's
good.
Quite unfortunate. There's a reply to the comment. That's a rushed behind. That's good.
Yeah, that is very good.
Not really crazy, but I'm still salty about the time I bolted back with the game on the line under 10s and smothered through a rush behind, and it was still called a goal. Still got the win, thankfully.
You'd be dark, especially under 10s as well, because those are pivotal and formative moments.
Yeah, they have core memories.
I still remember when I was playing basketball when I was younger, and I got my first ever buzzer beater. I can still picture the whole thing in my brain. That story for that guy is never leaving his head, never ever. Especially if they'd lost. Oh my goodness me!
I remember I got a go-ahead goal in year 11 after we'd been 40 points down at 3/4 time, and I put it in front with about 3 minutes left. Off the best type of goal you could ever get, a downfield free kick. It just happened to be. It was on the boundary, to be fair. It wasn't a gimme. So let's snap it around. Sure. But, nothing like a cheapie. Played under 16s in Ballarat in 1976 and went through the season undefeated with a percentage of over 600 and an average winning margin of 134 points.
Wow.
Can we not play you every week? 7 goals up with 5 minutes to go in the grand final. The opposition coach grabbed our captain and started belting him. And all in brawl, including the crowd erupted and the umpire abandoned the game. This year, we were finally recognised and awarded the premiership after 49 years. We had a reunion to celebrate the flag. I drove down from Bundaberg to Ballarat for the celebration. What?
Boys, we're not going to get this done, lads. Brawl on. Let's go.
No, the coach did that.
I know. That's what I'm talking about. It's the strats. We're not going to win. Let's just get the game called off. I do like the crowd gets involved as well. Of course they did. Of course they bloody did.
Of course. We were getting pumped by 200 points week in, week out. In the end, the runner would just fill the water bottles with rum and coke. It was all good until the other team gave us a couple of players. One of those players being an under 18 with a particularly overprotective mother. Oh. Word got back to the league. Wasn't ideal. They couldn't really punish us anymore, so just a very stern warning.
That's so funny.
Under 16s, I made a position change from being the backup ruck and bench warmer to leading fullback. It sounds like Lachie Blackiston at Essendon. Had a game against Spotswood. The direct opponent had zero fitness on him and was shorter than me by a considerable margin. Gave him a bath. The kid cracked the shits at the start of the fourth, turns around and shoves me in the throat and tells me he's going to get his cousin to shoot me in the car park after the game.
Oh, damn.
Obviously, nothing came of it. The umpires didn't see anything, but it was definitely interesting leaving the game with my old man that afternoon since his family was parked about 4 cars over.
Jesus Christ. You just want to you want to bounce out of that situation so quick.
Yeah, just get out of there.
Yeah.
First game of the season under 17s. These like under 14s, under 18s. They're providing us the goods here. First game of the season under 17s. A troubled kid on our team starts a fight after the siren. After separating, heading back to the change rooms, one of the parents from our team had a crack at the kid for starting the fight. The kid explodes and had to be pinned against the wall by the biggest bloke at the club, and the parent is told to leave. The parent makes it about 50 metres before the kid and his mum start chasing him down. The parent turns around just as they're about to reach him and he clocks the kid with the left. Then an effortless pivot gets the mum, who was laying a few meters behind, with the right. It was like he was in Sherlock Holmes' discombobulate flow state. I don't understand that. Still perfectly still looking perplexed, as if he was also witnessing what he was doing. Horrific all round, but I'll never forget how cartoonishly effortless it looked. What?
Like, it's not funny, but it like the reason that I started laughing is because it was so cartoonish. He nailed that at the very end there, because that's just like, poof, oh fucking mum's there, bang. That's terrible. That's so bad.
I think we're going to finish this one with this one.
Okay.
This thread with this story, because this is quite a good one.
Okay.
Our club had the week off. We were hosting a reserves knockout final at our ground. Everything was running smoothly until half-time, when 2 police cars rolled in and asked directions to one of the team's rooms. Word soon spread they had an arrest warrant for the full forward. Somehow he convinced them to let him finish the game. So the cops parked a car behind each set of goals and watched on. Okay. The bloke then goes out and has an absolute blinder, kicks 6 goals in the second half, and his side wins comfortably. As soon as the final siren sounds, he predictably makes a run for it straight through the paddock next to the oval and straight into the arms of the third cop he didn't know was waiting. He was from back to the patrol car to a standing ovation from the crowd. No idea what the charge was, but he was back playing the next week. That is amazing.
God, it can't have been anything serious if he was back next week, but crikey Moses. Or out on bail or something.
I think you'll like this one.
Okay.
What is the dumbest thing you've seen on the football field? I have a nomination for this.
Okay.
I can't remember. It was against Hawthorn in 2025. Bailey Banfield not exiting the protected area despite being told 6 times by the umpire to do so, standing there and giving away the dumbest 50-metre penalty you'll ever see. I don't want to see him play for us ever again.
I had a feeling that you were going to say the words Bailey and then Banfield in the same sentence. Then,
also, anytime Shane Parker tried to kick the ball.
Well, I mean, that's just defenders in a nutshell, no?
Actually, I've got another one. Nathan Wilson, playing as GWS in about 2019 when he was playing for us, concedes a mark, lying on the ground. What does he do to the opponent that just took a mark on him? Punches him in the penis.
Yeah, that's
literally with the umpire standing right there. Right there. We clearly don't do IQ tests in the Fremantle Recruiting because we have some absolute wombats playing in our team sometimes.
I remember that one. I remember that one very well.
That did not make me very happy. Anyway, it's not about me. What individual play, one moment of the game was just so stupid that the sentence, my nan would do better, would actually apply. For me, it was when David Mundy scored his first match winner against the Tigers. That was a great moment.
It was.
And whoever the key back was, despite being up in the game, has barreled the ball down the middle to a 3v1 when all he needed to do was kick short or at the very least kick to the boundary. Yeah, that was really dumb.
That was really dumb.
Was that Vlosten? It might have been Vlosten.
I think it was Vlosten. And
Sorry if it wasn't you, Nick, but I think it might have been you.
Nick's really mad now.
He's kicked it a solid 70 metres, but we had Sandlands on the field.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure BT was commentating at the time, was going, "What's he done? What has he done that for?" A rare win by BT. To be fair, I think
when anyone does anything, BT says, "What's he done?" Because
that's true.
Usually not paying attention.
Oh boy, wowee.
North interchange infringement in the last 60 seconds of the game that were leading. That was against Sydney.
Sydney,
that was so bad.
I remember that one because I was listening to it on the radio. I think we were going to the game, like to the Freo was about to play, and I had it in the radio, and I was hearing all the commotion. They were like, "What's going on here?" And then when they said it was an infringement, like, how do you make that mistake? How do you make a mistake? Not akin to Melbourne making that mistake against St Kilda at the end at last season in that Miracle on Grass 2 Electric Boogaloo, when they gave away the 666 in the last.
Yeah, that would actually probably. That's probably worse than Banfield or Shane Parker. I don't know if it's worse than Wilson.
Yeah.
Because that's like, what are you doing?
Not as funny as Wilson's.
Wilson's wasn't funny. I don't care if he hit the genitalia, Liam. It wasn't funny. I'm doing a run in front of the umpire. He's already 30 out directly in front. What are you doing?
Yeah. Correct.
In under 18s, we had a training standard where if you shanty kick, you do 10 push-ups there and then. A bloke decided to do it during a game when he sprayed a kick out of defence, resulting in a free man taking uncontested chest mark 15 out. That's the first one that's actually gotten me in this whole thing. Like, properly gotten me in this whole thing.
God, they must really train that into him. If he's just like, it's just automatic. It's Pavlovian. Oh, missed goal, shanked it 10. Probably thought he was doing a good thing too. He was probably looking at the coach saying, "Look at me, coach. Look at me go."
Yeah, he tried to win the coach's award at what cost. Jaden Stevenson kicking the ball straight to Buddy after a kick out, then following it up by turning his back to play whilst Buddy runs on and kicks the goal in the centre square has to be up there. Yes, it does. I remember that. That was very funny. Jake Lever's brain fade in last year's semi, which would be 23, I think, based on this year. I do remember this, though. Knocking the ball out of bounds, then twirling in anger as the deliberate gets called on him, only to follow that up by refusing to give the ball back, resulting in a 50-metre penalty. Sweet memories. You know what? I actually think I might have been harsh on Bailey Banfield because some of these, like, that's a semi-final losing moment.
Yeah. Well, you still haven't mentioned the one that you always talk about on this show, the Freo, costing the final, the drop mark.
Oh, Sheridan. Well, that wasn't dumb. It was just being bad at football.
Okay, fair enough.
Like, and having no game awareness and then close down the space. I think this probably
doesn't qualify for this particular.
It's not dumbest. It's not dumbest. Yeah.
I'm with you.
It's most irritating, not the dumbest. Raf Clark walking across halfback 09 grand finals. If he was Scott Penner ran it all the time in the world, I think he got done holding the ball for that from memory. Someone mentioned, it's on the hyperlink, Ash Johnson showing the ball when he was playing for Collingwood Reserves, Frankston, and then taking off and then getting run down, tackled and losing his dax. That was quite funny. That was quite funny.
God. Wait, you said there's a link for that?
Yeah, there is.
Oh,
you've seen it. You know what I'm talking about.
I actually don't know if I have.
You haven't seen it?
I don't think I have.
Okay, it's very funny.
Okay.
Not sure if it was the dumbest, but in an under-16s game, I saw a very light kid get hit with a bullet pass on a lead in the forward line. He jumped in the air to mark it on his chest, and the ball struck him so hard he flipped upside down with his feet in the air as he slid on the ground upside down. Everyone on the field burst out laughing. Opponents' teammates umps the crowd. I don't know how that even happens.
That doesn't sound
How was the kick?
It doesn't.
I think that might be fake.
Or it's just he's recalling a story from when he was a kid, and in his head, that's just how he remembers it. Like, it just that's it. That kick would have had to have been going the speed of bloody sound.
David Roden kicking a goal at the wrong end of the ground. He started celebrating too. Still do not know what he was thinking. There's a YouTube link for that one as well if you want to seek that one out. Tim English taking the kicking with the season in the balance versus Hawthorn in the last minute. That doesn't seem to make a lot of sense.
Tim English taking the kick in? Yeah.
Peter Ladders would have a few top contenders from me. See, we've all got them. There's always that one. I watched that dumb bloke Josh Caddy give away a 150-metre penalty once.
150?
Yeah, that's quite hard to do. Fraser Garrett did that as well, which is mentioned in a comment below.
Yeah.
Where he gave it away to Michael Johnson.
Yeah, but Grover was just being a right hold prick to him. And they were just riling him up. And the G-Train was not having any of it. He was in a really bad mood that day, which I'm sure is saying something because I think he was in a bad mood all the time.
Gonna finish this thread with this one because this is probably as bad as it gets. Surely nothing beats Phil Carman headbutting an umpire. Yeah, it doesn't. 2 more to go on this one. This is from 9 months ago. What is the worst game you ever watched? Jeez, I have a few contenders for this. It's the period 2005 to 2025, and the team is Fremantle. Excluding season
2005 to 2025. Wow.
We've had plenty of stinkers in that time.
I know, but there's some good ones too. Well, Richmond Essendon last year would have to be on this list, right?
I don't know. I think this is inspired because this is 9 months old. I reckon this post was inspired by that.
Yeah, 100%.
Because that really was quite an offensive game of football.
It was.
2007 grand final. This is a Port Adelaide supporter commenting. I had to get up at 4 a.m. in Scotland to watch it live.
Oh, Poor God. Yeah. Poor indeed.
Every game between St Kilda and Port for the last 10 years. First of all, fair. Second of all, the one in Cairns specifically in about 23. That was awful. That was offensive.
I'll take your word for it. I remember the one in Cairns.
Someone commented a screenshot of a game that ended North Melbourne 34 defeated by St Kilda 64, where North kicked 4 goals 10 and St Kilda kicked 8 goals 16. That sounds terrible.
That just sounds like a regular fare for those two across the last few seasons, to be fair.
It still sounds terrible.
Mm-hmm. Well,
here you go.
There you go. Go.
My partner and I moved to Cairns and were so excited to see an AFL game up here. It was St Kilda versus Port in 2022 and possibly the worst game of footy we've both ever seen. I think it ended up 43-42, but easily the most forgettable live game we've seen. Forgettable game. That's a good thought.
Yeah. Because
forgettable game.
Because when it's so bad, like obviously the Essendon Richmond one from last year was so bad that it gets talked about, right?
Yeah.
If a bad so game that's forgettable, like that's.
I reckon anytime Fremantle played GWS at Optus, the game is just not that good. Yeah. For whatever reason. I can't tell you anything that happened in a free GWS game.
I think you can just take take Optus away, just in general. The only thing the only thing I can think of was when I watched them at NG Stadium one time and Shane Yarran kicked the first goal and I had money on it. And that was a long time ago. That's all I can remember from any GWS and Freo game. They haven't really had any close ones or nail biters or anything.
We do have our biggest winning margin against the Giants from 2013.
Oh, there we go.
12 points. We pipped our 2005 victory against Collingwood, which was 111, both at Subi. So
he's got his stats.
He could beat that anytime.
Stats man.
North versus the COVID depleted West Coast side a few years back. We only won by 3 goals against their reserve side. It was an absolute mess. Yeah, that was quite bad.
Well, that's the problem with that Eagles side, that depleted Eagles side as well, and you probably kept that running into the last few years. And Freo tend to suffer from this as well. When you play a bad team, you tend to come down to their level quite badly, and so when you're playing those sides, Those games can be atrocious.
We get stuck in the quagmire a lot.
Oh, yeah. I think a fair few teams do.
Last thread, this is from 2 years ago, and it's got 430 comments, which is probably, I think, the most we've seen. So we might have a few to go through in this one. What's something that still annoys you to this day? Can be something totally reasonable and have an explanation for, but still annoys you to this day. Mine is that Melbourne didn't play Nathan Jones as a sub in the 2021 Grand Final. I don't know why, but it still annoys me to this day. He wasn't even a player I thought much about throughout his career. Having to fix people's spelling on the fly is always fun. After everything he'd been through with the club, he was loyal and stuck fat. I know at the time he wasn't best 22 and he accepts that, but come on, he deserved it, didn't he? And I bet any money he would have jumped at the chance. Felt like a massive snub and something the club could have done for his service. I know the injury sub would have had a bearing on the game, and had there been an injury, it was high stakes. In hindsight, though, it had zero bearing on the result. Also, low-key, the Eagles took Jared Brown instead of Oscar Allen. Yeah.
This person was upset that they didn't place him in a grand final. Is that what they were upset about?
That he didn't play Nathan Jones in the grand final.
Yeah. But you don't. See, this is the one thing that we got really upset about when we played Fifey against Gold Coast for the send off, right? Was he exactly right? You don't play a player just for
and they made it a moment, trademark moment, by bringing him on the 7th minute. Like, you're not funny. No one's laughing. We're actually losing the game.
Yep.
It's not funny.
It's not funny. I agree with you on that one. But like, it's one of those things. Like Sydney playing. Who was it? McLean? No. In their lost grand final a few years ago when he was injured and couldn't play more than 3 minutes.
Oh, yeah, Logan McDonald.
McDonald, yeah. Stupid. Dumb. Anyway, that's not the thread.
No. Fev not kicking 100. Yeah, because Clarkson put about 3 defenders on him in the last quarter. Retiring Boomer Harvey when he still had at least 68 games in him.
Clark, I can see Clarkson just being an absolute party pooper, to be honest with you.
But you know what? I'd probably do the same thing.
Of course, yeah, 100%.
I'm not letting you walk over my defence. Retiring Boomer Harvey when he still clearly had at least 68 games in him. That would get him to 500, I think. Sacking Brad Scott and insisting we didn't need a rebuild. This is a North fan, if you couldn't tell. An Ashes comment for some reason. Gary Lyon not playing for the Lions. Yeah, that's a niche one. Fair. Dom Sheed was supposed to be rotated off. That's a Collingwood fan. It would have to be.
Oh, 2018 though. 2018 that we're talking about. Yeah.
I assume so. I can't imagine what else it would be. 2009, Hawkins hits the post. 2010, the AFL introduces goal reviews. 2010, States had the momentum forced to play a replay grand final. 2011, the AFL introduces extra time. We're cursed. No, you just weren't good enough. Boomer Harvey knocking the ball out of Matt Prentice's hands and appealing to the umpire for a 50, and then he got the 50. I don't know if I'm angry at Boomer for doing it or the umpire for just guessing. Actually, definitely the umpire. Boomer was a bugger too.
That reminds me of the time, I think it was Saints versus Freo, and Rewalt kind of goaded Tendai into throwing the ball back to him when it wasn't his free kick. Like, he was just like, because Tendai was getting up from this pack, it was holding the ball, and Nick Rewalt was like, here, give me the ball. Tendai just does it, and then boom, 50-minute penalty. He was like, sucked him in. One of Nick Rewalt's final actions in AFL.
Not a premiership to speak of. Someone comments the saga. Fair. Fraser Garrick not making the All-Australian team after winning the Coleman Medal in 2005. Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
It does not.
Vossi burning Bradshaw and Miscatelli in the pursuit of Fev. They obviously didn't agree to it. And left for Gold Coast and Sydney respectively, and we got a major headache for F-all. From that moment on, the club was a basket case until Fagan came on board. Yeah, that's fair, because I think Bradshaw still had a bit to offer. Riscatelli was a very good midfielder, very underrated, that late 2000s period. In 2011, Ross Lyon finished up the season by retiring 4 players to the media without their consent, then a couple of days later ran off to Fremantle without saying goodbye to any of the players. I've never forgiven him for that and don't understand why the club gave him a second chance.
Which 4 players did he retire? Do you remember?
No, I don't.
No, that seems
2011. Yeah. Nah, I would have said Kaczynski maybe was one, but I think he held on for a couple of years after that. So I'm not sure. Not off the top of my head.
The fact that I tested you on 2011 Saints knowledge, Jesse, I can imagine why you didn't know the answer to that question. It's fine.
Thank you. Jonas being picked up for, this is a Port fan, Jonas being picked for holding on our 50 with less than a minute to go in the 2014 prelim. Then 30 seconds later, Lake being not called for absolutely dragging on our 50. What could have been haunts me. I remember this one and I totally agree. That was ridiculous. Remember when Free Kick Hawthorn was a thing? Stuff like that was why.
Free Kick Hawthorn's been a thing for a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, from that 2014. Brett Harvey being delisted. Dane Rampy climbing the goalpost. Kane Corns not pursuing his firefighting career. You started laughing at Kane Corns. You didn't know what was coming. You started laughing at Kane Corns.
No, the goalpost. I remember the goalpost one. Rampy climbing up, just trying to get up. You can't do that, right? That's good. That's not a legal maneuver.
That Patrick Cripps got off on his suspension on a technicality, then takes the Charlie. Yeah, that still annoys me.
Yeah.
We had the opportunity to draft Christian Petrarca and Marcus Bontempelli, instead drafted Jack Billies and Paddy McCartan.
Oh, which team is that, Jesse?
A chance the club has changed half their list in the off-season. Mark Mercuri wasn't announced as the captain of the All-Italian team when his name was on the half-forward flank in 2007. I'll never get over it. Okay. Someone just puts stand, which, you know, the rule. Not that bad. No. Chris Grant utterly robbed of a Brownlow. Well, he did get suspended twice.
Yeah. Yes.
From things that he did. 2019 Anzac Day umpiring. Yeah, that's fair.
These are like, I mean, Reddit's good, right? Because you can just go and just, it's almost like therapy in a way. He's going to go deep dive, like just unload all of your deepest irks onto this thing. Yeah. Who can remember the umpiring from that game?
It was obviously bad. It was terrible. There were so many non-calls. Like, players were stopping because they thought a free kick was coming and the umpire was waving play on. That's how bad it was.
Love that.
Modric doing his knee in the 97 prelim, then Blight being a fella and not picking him in the 98 final series and him leaving. Sad face. Also, this is a weird way to spin it. Also, Phil Walsh being murdered and Don Pike turning out to be a terrible coach, squandering a team that could have won multiple flags. Okay.
Christ.
I'm concerned that the one is Don Pike sucks. Not, Phil Walsh died. And that was really sad.
Oh my God.
I don't know. Can we go on after that?
No, I don't think so. I mean, we've been talking about Reddit for an hour. Just think it's good.
No,
time
you know, I think that's the perfect place to end it because that sums up social media better than anything else. Liam, if people at home enjoyed this, they should hit like, they should subscribe, they should let us know in the comments if they had any things to add in to this. If you've got any funny stories you want to share on any of the thematics we've gone through, drop them in the comments. We'll read them out in the next episode as long as we can say the words that are in the comments.
Or if you know of any Reddit links, chuck them in the comments as well. Because if
we
you
can
got
do a part 2, maybe.
Yeah, if you got some stories down there, chuck them in there because it's quite funny going through all these. I enjoy it. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Like, share, subscribe if you're on YouTube. A review on our preferred podcasting platform is the best you can do. But look, if this does make it to Reddit, because these posts tend to get to Reddit eventually. So tell your friends, tell your family, tell the Reddit universe that this was a good podcast. You should come check it out. And they should subscribe too. Just keep on filtering up the line. But until next time, Liam, we're getting close to the season. Less than 2 months to go until opening round. I'll see you pretty shortly. You shall.
For some more AFL fun. See you around.
Bye, everybody.